You already know who it is, Sir Lifehacker, the one and only. We gotta get straight to it. Nano Banana just dropped, and this is the craziest image model drop we've seen since ChatGPT 4.0. To be honest, this is 20 times crazier. We got text accuracy, hyper realism, the ability to capture any style you want, create full-on product photos, infographics, everything you need with this one model. In this video, I'm gonna show you how already came up a quick 9,000 off a brand hiring me to creative direct for them. Luckily, I was able to use Nano Banana Pro to handle the entire thing. Of course, within this creative direction came two powerful N8N automations that automatically generate these image prompts that we're going to use and take all of these reference photos and plug them straight into Nano Banana so I can get the exact look I want. Everything I'm going to show you here is how you can create a consistent character, high fidelity, insanely quality, fire as hell advertising campaigns, pictures that honestly look like they were shot by a $10,000 photographer, if I'm being completely honest. If you don't want to follow along this whole video, if you just want to download these automations, you already know where to go. Head to the school community. We over there popping big shit only. You know what I'm saying? Over 500 members all over the world, all over the map, in every single country you can possibly think of. And we got courses in here for anybody who wants to not only see other N8N client projects like this, but also learn how to just become a better N8N expert, a better coding expert, and all around automation and AI as a whole. So go ahead, join this, grab the automation, learn some. We do office hours 3 times a week too, in case you got any questions. Let's go ahead and see the full demo. You can see it brought in 5 items from all the ones that are saying the photo still needs to be generated, and it's already went to work generating that image with Nano Banana Pro inside of Fal AI. So if I come back in here, you can see it's already in progress. It's been really turning out some bangers for the last few. As we can see, dummy heaters, obviously, from this reference image here that we had of Lil Yachty, now to replace with our character seamlessly with the products perfectly. Kept moving through the automation, uploaded the files into Box, and it's already updated the Notion just to move the Lil Yachty picture to now video TBD. And now if I go into my box, refresh, also saying go into my box is crazy work. But if I go in here, refresh, you now see these 2 images inside of here, all hands-free. So you know we love hands-free work. And this is already back working. So we already have the next image being generated. But anyways, let me just give you some super quick context so you can understand really what's going on here. So my boy, Spencer, he runs this fashion brand called Arrival. It's a streetwear clothing brand. They make super provocative, bold tees like this. Got the smiley faces. Obviously, you can see clientele is like that. Kay Cunningham from the Detroit Pistons. There's some other famous people in here, rappers, LeAngelo Ball, Short around that corner type. This is Spencer right here. He's always on Instagram. He's keeping his finger on the pulse, and he noticed how AI was starting to grow. But he ain't no software developer though. He's still just a fashion designer from the mud that's crazy with design. So he asked me if you can creative direct my ad campaign for Black Friday. So I said, all right, bet, say less. He also asked me, yo, can you make an actual character built for my brand? Somebody that embodies his brand that he can basically use as his continuous UGC model. I said, say less, that's what I do. He provided me with basically this full breakdown, somebody who's racially ambiguous, like Jesse Williams, Steph Curry, but leaning more black. Somebody with the personality of Drewski and The Rock, presence of Denzel. I don't know how the fuck I was gonna convey that, but I had enough of what I needed to really get started on generating this character. First thing I did, all of that, I basically tried to find young pictures of dudes he was looking for, young Denzel primarily. Found this random Facebook picture that somebody made of young Denzel, which definitely is not Denzel, but fuck it. It looked like a Denzel spinoff. So I said, why don't I just keep spinning that off? So I brought this picture into Nano Banana, and then from there, I basically just started, altering his look to what I want. You could see, kind of changed his facial structure, etc. Then I ended up on a look that I felt like was right for Spence and Arrival as a brand. You could see he got more of a black look to him now, full beard. You know what I'm saying? You know how we rock type shit. Once I had the character that I knew that I needed, I obviously also had the pieces. I also, of course, had the pieces from his latest drop that he wanted to promote, which is this Arrival tee right here with a smiley face on the back, and this Arrival tee down here that on the back says everybody hates you till they love you. Those 2 were the ones he really wanted to hone in on because they were already super popular. So I said, all right, bet, say less. The next thing from there for me was to find target photos. What did I want? If I could choose any photo shoot, whatever, that I wanted, what would I actually do for that? So I went to the one and only, the big pen, big Pinterest, and literally just searched the word surrealism streetwear. And I was able to really start creating a mood board of looks, photo shoots, etc. that I like. You can see a lot of these had a little yachty in them. Some of these are in the studio. Some of these are more surreal type looks. I like these kind of fantasy, etc. looks, or just these kind of gritty realism studio shots, editorial, etc. The question from there was like, let me just test this on a few to make sure that it worked. So then I went to this website. This website is called AI. If you've never heard it before, it's basically like an aggregator of different image and video models. You can just, put in $10, $20, and now you can pay for all of these different image and video generations. I basically use this as manually being able to see what works prompt wise, reference image wise, to make sure my workflow was going to be correct before I actually made the N8N automation. First picture that I liked was this one. I felt like this one was dope. Found this on Pinterest. I said, I would love if I could basically put Arrival jeans, switch out the character, put in my character. And all I had to do for that was just literally go to Arrival's website here, go to the web store, grab these jeans right here. And I said, bet it, these are kind of complex. We got a bunch of logos, bunch of stuff on there, words, etc. Took a little screenshot of this, brought this into Fal AI, combined it with the headshot of my character, and then literally, of course, that reference image. And I literally just said, yo, replace the shirtless character, literally even spelled replace wrong. Replace the shirtless character in the reference photo with the man in the headshot wearing the Arrival jeans. And you can see literally money off the rip. Once I saw this, I said, oh, all right, bet, we're out of there. Now all I need to do is basically create N8N automations that can make this full process automatic. Of basically, you can see the manual process of me trying to figure out what I wanted to keep the same and what I wanted to change. So with that in mind, instantly went into that N8N bag, went into that engineering bag. Y'all know I'm really a software engineer type shit. So then I cooked up this first automation here that essentially is what comes up with those prompts. Even though they may seem simple, I don't want to have to do that en masse for 30 images. Before anything else, I went to create my database. The database is super important because obviously this is where everything was going to be extracted from. I've actually found another few images that I actually do like. So to actually start the automation, once again, remember, I need to actually find the target photos of what I want the end shots to look like, but with my character and my clothes inside. So I've already saved these pins. So I'm going to go ahead and put these inside of the database so I can officially have those locked in. Yachty may be an asshole, but this nigga know how to pose for some pictures. This one too was fire to me. I fuck with the gradient background for sure and the pose on that. Poses are the one things that's hard to just straight up generate. It's not like an AI model was trained on swaggy ass streetwear niggas. So a lot of times that's where the initial research goes into. I fucked with this pose and just the background of being in the studio. I felt like this was fire and on brand for streetwear for sure. That one and these last two over here. It's really important that you add these in a Google Drive because the Google Drive links is how we're actually gonna get these into Nano Banana too. Once I have these in Google Drive, the next thing I do, right-clicking, share, copy link. Make sure the share access is for anybody to be able to view. Add the target photo in there. The character photo goes in here. Obviously, I have this in Google Drive already, so I'm just taking this, sharing the link once again on some easy shit. And then for the outfit product photos, so you see how in this picture right here, it's jeans showing, it's a t-shirt showing, and it's shoes showing. So that means we want to have enough products that actually replace all of these. The back of the shirt isn't showing, so I'm not going to worry about that. All I'm going to do is the front of the tee, which is right here, the Arrival tee, and then also the jeans, which are right here. I'm going to copy both of those, putting them inside of here under outfit product photo. And then for the little outfit description, you can see this don't got to be nothing crazy. All I'm literally saying is Arrival t-shirt. I'm not even describing the shirt like crazy. And Arrival jeans. Image speaks for itself. I don't need to be really describing much. And then for the character, I'm going to leave this one the same. This is just the handsome bearded man in the headshot. The image is speaking for itself. Remember that. So now that I have this, I actually have everything I need to start running the first automation to get the image prompt. But obviously, you can see there's a bunch of different rows in here. It's because the automation works best when you got 10 or 20 and it can just run through them straight. So that's what I'm actually set up real quick so you guys can see this automation at its full potential, going through 8 pictures in a row, generating a quick 16 pics in 2 minutes type shit. I'm down there about to finish up. We're adding all this stuff in here. Obviously we need image prompts. We need to be able to say, hey, replace this guy in this with my character. We don't want to have to manually do that every single time. So this is where this first N8N automation comes in, that, as you can see, goes inside of our Notion database and extracts 7 items, all based on the fact that those statuses equal not started. The 7 things coming in, Lord knows we don't want Gemini analyzing all 7 images at once. So that's why we have this loop over items node set to 1 batch size. And then obviously I just wanted to label things. I want set variables in place. You can see here, my actual prompt here is dummy simple. I'm literally saying only analyze the subject and that target image, their complete outfit and wardrobe, and any visual effect. Because obviously if there is any visual effect, I want to keep that in there. So I want to be able to tell the model, this is what it is, keep that. So that's what this analyzing image is doing. Got to use Google Gemini 3 Pro. As you can see for the image URL, this is actually where a very important key comes in. So you can see if I just go to any regular Google Drive picture right here, like say I go to this share, copy link, new tab, you see how the first part of this URL is just drive, Google file /D, and then it gets into this long code right here. That's one way of showing a Google Drive link for sure. But what we need when we're working with LLMs like this, we need to give it a download link of the image. So now you can see here, the first part of this drive URL actually says drive.google export equals download. So we're actually giving now a URL that is straight for downloading Google Drive links. And then we're just attaching the ID at the end of it dynamically. So 1, how the fuck are we even attaching this dynamically so we don't have to actually go and find each ID? And 2, nigga, what is even the ID? See here in this URL how there's this obviously long form thing after the URL. This whole thing is the ID. This is the ID part of the URL. So all we're really trying to do is just extract this for every single Google Drive file and add this after this. You can see here, this one is 1YBYD, etc., and put it after this little Google Drive export download URL. So all we're doing here is basically, I literally just dragged this JSON in here. That's why that says JSON target photo. And then I'm using this JavaScript function here. That's just a match function that literally all it's doing is basically extracting anything that matches this criteria that it has set up. If this is over your head, this is too complicated. 1, just go fucking download the automation inside of school. It's right there for you. You don't have to worry about any of this. 2, just screenshot this, put it in GPT and ask more about it so you can really get the full definition of what this is doing. But overall, it's not that complicated. All you're doing is just extracting the ID and putting it in dynamically so Google Gemini actually can get this image and not just be looking at a Google Drive link. Because even if I copy this, the download URL, go to a new tab, enter that, the first thing that opens up is not Google Drive, but actually my download modal. So now you can see the difference. But I had to break that down for y'all. Otherwise, you would be very confused if you was building this by yourself. Gemini is going to go ahead and basically analyze that target image, give us a description of what it is. And all this is doing is literally just saying, create an image prompt, super short, between 100 to 400 characters, that just explains to Nano Banana Pro to replace the subject in the target photo with my desired character and my desired outfit. That's all it's doing. And as you can see, this image analysis just got done. The rest of this LLM chain, all this is doing is basically trying to output something like this. Replace the man, let's get specific, in the denim jacket and cornrow braids. That guy right there, replace him with our handsome bearded man in the headshot. We already know about that character picture, wearing the Arrival jeans, Arrival t-shirt, etc. So now you can see why I plugged in those variables earlier that we were looking at. Now, if we come into the actual user message and not the system message, this is all just inputs because I'm trying to limit how many tokens I'm putting into the LLM. This is just bringing in the target image analysis. You can see here, it's fully analyzing the subject being the young black male. Not them thinking that this nigga was Pierre. That's crazy work. They think he's Pierre. This picture is actually dummy hard. You can see It's just really telling us all these different things, the visual effects, etc. Literally in 2.4 seconds, it already generated the prompt that we need. Replace the young black male wearing the bright pink graphic hoodie with the handsome bearded man in the headshot wearing the Arrival t-shirt and black denim G-Star jeans in the same seated, relaxed pose. Keep the grassy setting, because obviously we want to keep that. Keep the smoke effect, studio lights, and filigrane texture exactly the same. You can see how this is the exact prompt we want to put in, so we can easily one for one replace this character with my character here. We obviously want to add that image prompt inside of Notion so we can run that automatically. Everything needs to run on autopilot. I shouldn't have to go to Nano Banana Pro manually in any way. You can see I ran that last node and it added that image prompt in here for us and changed the status to photo TBD. So now we know the next step in there is to create the photo. And like we see, that same image prompt that we just saw is now in Notion. We can go ahead and get this automation to now do that on autopilot for the rest of those image prompts. So instead of me now having to analyze all these different images, it's going to do it on its own, add the image prompt for us, add everything in here, and change the status to photo TBD. Once we get to photo TBD, we can get into this next automation that is literally going to be fully just creating those images for us. This next one already got finished. Now we have the perfect image prompts that we can take back into Nano Banana. The next one already got done. Replace Lil Yachty. They know Lil Yachty. They knew that nigga. That's how you know you famous. If Gemini Pro knows who you are, you probably this is the beauty of automation right here. The easiest of works. We already have all these image prompts finished. Literally success in 2 minutes and 52 seconds. And they saying AI is only going to get better, we're cooked. Obviously, we want to start generating these images in Nano Banana. So that's what this next full N8N automation does. So all I'm going to do is go ahead and move this manual trigger down to here. We need our first node to be bringing in the image prompt. Just like before, we don't want to be trying to plug in 7 image prompts at the same time. So we got to split it in batches of 1. Remember before how we had to change those Google Drive links to be export links? Well, now not only do we need to create export links, we actually need them to be in a certain format to be wrapped in quotes and then separated by commas, which is what this little function right here is doing. I'll talk about functions a lot in my Coding for Entrepreneurs course in school. You definitely want to check that out if you really trying to get nice at JSON, JavaScript, etc. like your boy. This is the full combined export URLs. We have that actual beginning URL that we need, the question mark export equals this, and we have it wrapped in quotes and separated by commas. So just like that, we're really ready to go ahead and plug this into Nano Banana so we can start using all of those as reference images and not just be plugging in text in there. Now I'm getting straight to generating. I'm not even wasting no time. It's going to show you that this is in queue and running on Fal AI. If we go to these requests, you can see less than a minute ago, this one is officially running. To set up this full API call, it's actually super simple to do. All you want to do, I talk all the time about API docs. If you're not reading API docs, you're lost. It'll tell you exactly how you need to set up the HTTP request node, including the URL endpoint, which is this, the header, which is this, authorization, and then key, and then your API key. This is really what your JSON body is going to want to look like. All I did, come back in here. Obviously, you can see I put that URL endpoint in here, that header, authorization in here. This API key will be disabled once you watching this. So don't think you could just run in here, finesse my API key, run it up. Just put in $5, dude. This is the actual JSON body that we just saw inside of Fal AI, now inside of here. And all I'm doing is replacing the prompt with the dynamic prompt that was generated and that we obviously put back inside of here, replace this X, Y, Z. That's what's coming inside of here. And all that is literally just dragging this in there. And the image URLs, of course, we already combined all those. We already had that taken care of. Go to the Google Drive link formatter node, come to the combined drive links, and drag that in there. Super easy. This is that finished result right here of what those fully fleshed out prompts will look like. If I wanted to manually do this, I would have to manually create this prompt, add in these image URLs, this number of image aspect ratio every single time. I don't want to have to do that. With AI, it's all about speed. Y'all know speed kills. So that's why we beautifully have this expression created that will automatically map the variables we already set up. You can see we got that 200 success. And just to get a quick little preview, need I say more? Literally perfectly got the t-shirt, perfectly got the Arrival Love is Pain t-shirt, all the art on there. All the art is perfectly accurate. Letters are accurate. Also got my character perfect. Glasses included. You know, we bearded up. Everything perfectly emulated from our target image. Shit, I'm a photographer, a graphic designer, and this only took 32 seconds. Imagine if a photographer had to actually take that picture and then edit it. I'm pretty sure it will take 1,000x that amount of time. We don't want to have to actually manually click through each node. We want to be able to click once, execute, and then 20 images can be going loop through every single one of them. So that's why that wait is there, to basically wait for the images to finish generating. I'm going to put this at 2 just for right now, because obviously we already waited. But if I didn't wait yet, I would keep it at this 250 just to be safe. Obviously, we got to actually grab that image URL. That's what this node right here is doing. And all we're doing is just submitting a GET request, just like we did a PUT request. Now we're trying to get the images back from Nano Banana by putting in simply just the response URL from Key AI. I got to put my API key in there because I am interfacing back and forth with their API. So that's what this is here. That's going to go ahead and grab the image right there. This if node is here just basically saying, yo, sometimes 250 seconds isn't enough time. Sometimes it's 280. So if that image URL exists, we're good. Keep it going. If it doesn't exist, go back to the wait and wait another 250 seconds. So since that's in there, that's going to go down the true path. And obviously, and since it's true, we already saw 2 images got generated there. We want to split out those 2 images so we can download both of them and put them into Box. This actually works with any image too, by the way. If you just put in the image URL and just use a GET method with the HTTP request, it'll just give you the binary download file. Like, look, if I press, like, the official file is right there. That was just crazy to me. I just didn't know N8N could do that until recently. I want to actually upload those into some type of storage folder. I chose Box because Box is literally, no exaggeration, the easiest one to set up credential wise. Google Drive, you got to go through. You got to do a whole bunch of stuff, create an app, backend, etc. With Box, all you literally have to do is just go to connect my account, sign in with Google, and you're in. 2 steps. Why would you not do that? That's why Box is my preference for storing actual binary files. This is the JSON you want to add in so that it knows what to upload. Just press play here and then go back into Box. It'll actually tell me like, yeah, it's time to refresh. We got new bags coming in. You can see this little DRR was just uploaded. That's how we know. We can see the new images that just came in. Obviously, I went one by one through every single node, but if I didn't, this is just gonna be running on autopilot, generating the images, grabbing the image URLs, downloading them, and then uploading them in the Box for you seamlessly, easily. These crazy ass images that a graphic designer and a photographer would be working very hard on still to this day if they shot it in September. But obviously automation ain't no fun if you're not running it for more than one. Now I'm gonna see how this can fully work in production. Before I forget, the last part of this automation, obviously, you don't wanna duplicate and generate an image that you already generated before. So we gotta go back in Notion and change the actual status to video TBD. Let's go ahead and see the full demo. You can see it brought in 5 items from all the ones that are saying the photo still needs to be generated, and it's already went to work generating that image with Nano Banana Pro inside of Fal AI. So if I come back in here, you can see it's already in progress, already going to work. Let's go ahead and see how that image turns out. Y'all know it's been really turning out some bangers for the last few. As we can see, dummy heaters, obviously, from this reference image here that we had of Lil Yachty, now to replace with our character seamlessly with the products perfectly. Kept moving through the automation, uploaded the files into Box, and it's already updated the Notion just to move the Lil Yachty picture to now video TBD. And now if I go into my Box, refresh, also saying go into my Box is crazy work. But if I go in here, refresh, you now see these 2 images inside of here, all hands-free. You know we love hands-free work. And this is already back working. So we already have the next image being generated while we were just talking, key, looking at that. So now you can go ahead, handle your other business tasks, do some sales work, do some marketing work, do some engineering work, do whatever you need to do. Because now this N8N automation has you fully covered in generating beautiful, creative directed images that we already have the next image generated with our character, looking crazy. Arrival shirt looking perfect. Jeans looking crazy. Timbs, you know what I'm saying? Timbos. Nano Banana got that sauce to it type shit. I already know the vibes. If you want this automation, check the school community. You know what? I rock with you. You one of those type of people to the next level. Let's go ahead and actually turn this into a video. I'm gonna go to Kling. I used to use VO3. VO3 is kind of cool. Sometimes it be tweaking though on some weird shit. I'm gonna add in one of the images of what we actually made. One of the cold ones, of course, you know what I'm saying? The little grassy knoll background with bro rolling up. The camera stays still as the man blows smoke in the air from the, do we have a visual on what the hell he's holding in his hands? Is it a cigarette? Is it a blunt? What are we talking about? That's a ciggy. That's cool though. We can still rock. All right, bet it. For advanced settings, I'll just 5-second it. Meanwhile, the whole time in the background, it's already ran to the next image to start generating. You can see if we come back in here, that next one already got switched to video TBD. Crazy. Just that easily on some realistic swaggy shit. The world is now ours. We can literally go on Pinterest, find whatever image we want, and then literally cook it up with our own character, our own products, our own fashion. No more text hallucinations, no more image hallucination. The word of creative direction is now in the hand of the best samplers. It doesn't stop at pictures too. Lord knows, now we can cook up videos too. The world of advertising, fashion, product promo, streetwear, it's over with as long as you know Sir Lifehacker.